Hi everybody, here's Francis and I show you Hython, and today we're making a small command line program. I will show it you here right now. It's with a font sub, a poly extrude, a fuse and a null, and we have got a grid as a floor, a camera, environment and a render ROP with a mantra ROP in it. And our target is to make a font generator. With this font generator we're creating objects, and we want to use Hython to execute it with a custom Python script that has a heap file defined and a value. Here's an example of this script. It's pretty simple and we are building it afterwards completely. So I delete it now because we want to build it completely, so let's do it. First of all, we're making the font generator. So using the font sub, adding poly extrude, putting distance in it, we put 0.2, add the back, adding a fuse, and for the output using a null, and name it to out. In the font sub there's the parameter that's text, just for later we are accessing with Python. So I just open the Python shell. To get access of this parameter I'm using who.node, the path to the sub, in this case font 1, then access to the parameter, that's node.parm, then it should be text as we've seen before. And for setting the value we have to set the value. And it works. So now I put a ROP node in it with a mantra when I can find it. I put the output picture to PNG, so afterwards it's easier with Windows. And also rendering, I put up the noise value a bit up, so it's a bit faster, but not much. Rename it to render. So I'm adding now the floor. It's scaling up. Put the position. And on the end, I don't like it, so we change the position again. The camera to make it a bit better. So now it looks better. So we rename it to font generator. It's for later a bit easier, and also make it the grid to a floor. So let's add some shaders. Let's see how it looks like. Yeah, something is wrong, so let's check it again. So it looks a bit better. I think the size is a bit too much, so we can make it a bit smaller, so we don't have to wait later on. Try it again. Yeah, it's a little bit better. So now let's access the render ROP. We do the same as before. And to render the ROP, we just now select the node and enter render. Where? Oh yeah, here. Oh, I think I haven't saved it in the folder, so I should save it first. So I name it to Hython underscore 101. So let's press, so it's empty. So let's press enter, go back and see what's happening. Yeah, it looks like it's rendering. So we've got the basic setup for the rendering. That's good. So let's start to make some functions in Who session. I think that's the best things to set def set text with the value. Now we can copy and paste the values. So rename it to font generator. Copy paste in it. Add here the value. Now you make a second function for the rendering. We don't have to add a value in this case, but we could theoretically. Now also copy and paste. So let's try out what's happening. So we'll take this one. Well, it doesn't work, so I've made some very mistake. Surely with the name. Did I correctly spell it correctly out? But now it should work. Maybe I should move the Python source editor. Yeah, now it works. Now we should do the rendering. Delete it. So now we make an external script, Python script, where we can run in the console. So let's make it. We call it run.py. And now you open it at Pycharm. So the comment would be that it's first Hython, then the run.py, and the heap file which you want to execute, and the value. So we are parsing 3 values into Hython on the end. So we are importing the sys for getting these arguments. We are importing who to accessing Houdini, and in this case I also load as option the date time. For getting to print out the current times, start and end time. Misspell it. So I make a print out of all these arguments first for testing it out. In this case it's the first argument, that's the Python file. So Python file, double point, then this argument v brackets 0 is the first argument, so we are copying it now, paste, that's the heap file, and the third argument is the text value. So save it, and so try it out if you are parsing the correct arguments. Again, we put Hython, the Python command, add the heap file, and the value. It looks good, so we could read all the data. So now we have to access Hython with the who module. So we load the heap file. That's who.heapfile.load. Now we insert the system argument v, the second one, the second input. Now we want to have access to the session. That's who session dot set text, and add the second value. And we also want to render it out. So just add the comment for better understanding it. So save it and let's try it out. Just delete the image. Made something wrong. Yeah, I've forgotten to save it. Yeah, it works. So now we can execute commands in the console, and we can manipulate nodes in Houdini.